What a beautiful day it is today, guys. Welcome to another Fish Head live stream. We're out here at Lake Iamonia, about to take our first cast with the topwater frog. There's the GoPro acting up again. We're gonna go pretty much all around the weed line here on this lake, throw the frog into the weeds, see if we can't catch one of these big bass. There's some big ones in here too. John C., first one in. Good to see you. Appreciate you joining us. About to throw this guy. Sixth Sense frog. It's a pretty good looking frog too. Good morning to you. Right on the top of a lily pad. Justin, what's up? Appreciate you coming in. Doing some bass fishing. Seems like a perfect day for topwater too. It is cloudy and warmer than it's been the last few days. So I feel like the bass are ready to eat. Yes, frog lures are great in Florida. Joy-filled Jenny in the house. Appreciate you coming in. Doing some bass fishing. Hopefully, eventually I'll be able to get a topwater hit here. But for right now, I'm fishing the weed line. I'll let you know if I get a big blow up. The weird thing about these frogs, I've noticed, usually I squeeze them and the water comes out down here, but these ones you have to flip them over and it comes out the back. It's weird, like the vent port is on the back of the frog instead of the bottom. Yeah, Bob's out there in South Carolina, right? I think he's out in South Carolina, blue cat fishing. Something we either don't have or I have no idea how to catch one, because I have not caught a blue cat around here. All I ever get is channel catfish. Come on, bass. Big blow up. Yep, South Carolina. Oh, something just came up for it. Didn't eat it. Oh, now he ate it. Oh yeah, this could be a good one, guys. I think we got a decent bass. Oh yeah, he's got some. Oh, he's a nice one. Oh, he's a fighter too. Woohoo! Don't shake that frog. Yes! Woohoo! That's a sweet bass, guys. Perfectly hooked. Hardly even in there, barely. On the frog. Was that the second cast? Look at that. Woohoo! Big old largemouth. Ha ha ha! Yes. Yes. Oh, the GoPro was acting up. I got to turn the GoPro on, guys. Oh, almost fell. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Woohoo! John McMullen. NJ, what's up, Mark? Heck yeah, check out this guy. Perfect way to start the day. Except my GoPro's acting up. Trying to get a little bit of long form content here too. Is it gonna work? It's working. Behind the scenes. Woohoo! Oh yeah, nice largemouth on the topwater frog. It works. Yes. Oh yeah, let's let this guy go. See you later, buddy. swim. There he goes. Thanks for biting. Oh, yes. Colston in the house. Appreciate you guys joining us. Woohoo! Yes. All right. We got it on camera. I'm so good at catching fish when the cameras are off. As soon as I turn the camera on, the fish are like, he must be recording. All right. Now I'm super pumped. I was like fully pumped when I got to the lake today to see how nice it was out here. But now I'm more than fully pumped on that frog right there, 6 cents. I'm actually making a little video reviewing this frog. This is day 2 of the review. I'll just tell you guys since you're in here. Day 1 was a skunk. No fish on this frog at all. But we come out here to this lake. I think that was the second cast. It was either the second or third cast I took. Nice size largie. I am extremely happy about that. See if we can get another one here. I was kind of slow popping it, like every 2 seconds maybe, just giving it a little pop, let it sit. And then it came up, swirled real hard on the back of the frog, but didn't get the frog. And I just let it sit for a second, popped it one more time, and then he came up and just slammed it. I wish it was on camera out here, but beggars can't be choosers. And the way our bass fishing's been lately, we are the beggars. So I will happily take that one. My frog is underwater. It's not popping the surface. What's going on here, frog? Ah, it got fouled up. Woo! I'll try to show you guys how this thing drains. It was totally full of water, that's why. And fouled up. Sometimes the line gets like underneath the hooks. Probably because it was full of water. All right, let's see, where am I casting next? Maybe I can get a little bit more on the camera and I'll cast out that way. Come on, big bass. Let's go, big bass. This is a really nice frog. It has tons of action, chugs a lot of water, and just looks good in the water, you know? I didn't do my little trick where I cut one of the legs shorter than the other. We might have to do that here in a minute. I was just doing like the testing of this lure straight out of the packaging without any modifications. But I think now that I caught one on it, actually I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm going to do a true test of this product without changing it at all. Might have to use that last fish as the thumbnail for this video. So I'll have to go in on my computer, watch the thing, and try to get like a screenshot of it in 4K. So the camera or the picture quality is good enough to use for a thumbnail, because I did not take a picture of myself with that fish. 10 likes already. Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate everybody for joining us. Let's see, where are we pointing here? Ooh, yeah, right there in the weed line. That doesn't sound like a bump stock. That sounded automatic. What are you doing, GoPro? My GoPro 9 was doing this thing where it would record for like 30 seconds and then just stop recording. But I like changed the batteries out, uh, charged them up, cleaned the camera on the inside, and now it seems to be working again. And now that the 9 is working good, the 11 is wanting to do something similar. It only stays on for like 5 minutes and then cuts off. That was a nice, healthy looking bass. I've had bass fever lately. Wanting to bass fish a lot. Working too much. Not bass fishing. Come on, bass. Show them a big blow up. Can you guys see my lure popping out there? I like it because it disturbs a lot of water. If we were fishing in a tournament, I'd be really excited right now, having caught a good fish right at the beginning of the day. We didn't get out here for the morning bite. Obviously, it's like, what, 11 something now? But the weather is like perfect for it. We're getting into the weeds a little here, guys. I'm going to move us just a bit. I think I want to go like around the weed line here, and then I can cut in over that way. And there's some spots back in there that I know have big bass. Trolling motor's getting tangled up in the lily pads. All right, I think we're off. We're off. I'll keep fishing while we're moving. Oh yeah, there's fish jumping right here in front of me. Striking the surface at least. Get all pumped when I see that. Try to keep you guys in the right frame here, so I can see and you can see. I can't see the lure on the screen, but I'll show you the fish if I catch it. Would be nice to get a big blow up on video though. If I had the GoPro on my head, like I sometimes do, that would have been awesome. Terry B in the house. Hello to you, Terry. Doing a little bass and crappie fishing. Right now we are top water frogging it for bass. Just had a pretty decent one a few minutes ago, but I'm using this right now. Seems to be effective so far. But I'm also going to fish the edges for crappie here in a little bit. Mama Fishhead was saying we haven't eaten any crappie lately. So I got to catch a couple crappie to bring home. We got the delicious Florida black crappie that live here. This time of the year, I'm thinking they are like right on the edges of the weed line where the water goes from shallow to deep. And they should be kind of schooled up. So if we can get on one school and just stop in that spot, we should be able to get a few. And that would be a delicious fish fry. We usually make fried fish sandwiches out of the crappie. But I have cooked them like in butter, and they're good. Chad Ryan in the house. This is Lake Iamonia, Chad Ryan. Lake Iamonia. It's just too hard to say Iamonia. So everybody says ammonia. If you got a real thick accent, you could be like ammonia. And then you're kind of pronouncing it correctly. Come on, big bass. Do it. We did have a nice one. Chad, if you go to like Google Maps, go to Tallahassee and then go north of Tallahassee, pretty much out into the woods over here off of Highway 12, and there is this big beautiful lake called Lake Iamonia. Main part of the lake all through here is like, I don't know, 8 to 15 feet deep. There's one little deep spot. You cut through a little path in the trees, go into another part of the lake. I think it gets up to close to 40 feet deep in that section. And then all around the sides of everything is like 2 to 4 feet with tons of lily pads in it. All right, we're drifting away from the weeds. Let me move here. Yep, Lake Iamonia. And if you're looking at the map of the lake, I am basically all the way to the east side of the lake right now. I was watching one of the live streams after I made it one time, and you can hear this trolling motor like through the tripod in the camera. It's kind of weird. Unless something's different now. I could hear it a lot back then. But that's all right. Yeah, it is not busy out here at all. There was 2 trucks at the boat ramp. And I think I saw both of their boats going into that deep hole where I was talking about a minute ago. They were right over there. That hole where you cut through is like right there somewhere. It's literally like 2 boat widths wide. You have to slow down and kind of maneuver through the trees. FSR in the house. Iamonia. I was just saying everybody calls it Lake Iamonia because Iamonia is so awkward to say. But we did just catch a really nice one, FSR. Solid one, probably about 7-8 minutes ago. Maybe 10. Time flies when you're fishing. Did not get the blow up on video though. I was like fishing this way when it happened. So my quest to get a big blow up live is still in the works here. I gotta like point and see where I'm gonna cast in the camera. Alexis in the house. No, Alan's Castaways. My glasses are failing me, guys. Alan's Castaways in the house. appreciate you coming in. Oh, this looks perfect. Come on, bass. I don't know how my rod looped. That is weird. It wasn't looped when I casted, and then it just did it. Oh, that sounded like a big fish. Speaking of gators, there's one right over here. But we don't get ice. I don't know if they do that thing where they just like sleep for long times with their nostrils out of the water. What in the world? All right, let's try to put it through the loop. Nope. Now we are twisted. Woohoo! Fixed it. Thomas, appreciate you coming in. Yeah, Piney Z has all of the gators. And they're huge. And they're like darker looking than most of the gators in this lake. For some reason, the gators at Piney Z look like they're straight black. Is my thing freezing up? Yep. Yeah, real dark. The bass I just caught here was like a perfect specimen. It was chunky, colors were bright. It was very, very healthy bass, which makes me even more excited to fish in this lake. Crazy thing about this lake is it closes like the entire month of January. I think like the end of December and January, it's closed to fishing and only open for duck hunting. So for like a month and a half or something, nobody fishes here. So if you come out in February, the fish have like had plenty of time to rest. I didn't come out like the first day it was open because I knew there'd be like 1,000 boats out here. Oh, the bass haven't been any pressure on them at all. I'm gonna go out and fish today, along with 60% of the people who own a boat in Tallahassee. The weather's nice today though. Fishing on the lake live. Yeah, that bass was awesome. I am extremely pleased with that bass. Pretty much made my whole trip already. Now we can just relax and have fun. Pretty much pretty much what I always do anyways, but You know what I'm saying. Catch a nice bass right at the beginning. It's like there's no pressure to perform anymore. And then you have a terrible backlash. There we go. I always like to go way past the backlash and then reel it in with some pressure on it. So that way it forgets about the backlash. There's like no memory of it in the line. Probably just in my head that that's effective, but that's just what I do. Oh yeah? I watched this one video. I think it was a professional bass angler or something, but he said what he does is he reels like a half a turn in, holds his thumb really tight where it's backlashed, and then pulls the line and the backlash comes out. I don't know. I have not had much luck with that technique. I also brought another bait casting rod here with a jerk bait on it. So we can try like more open water spots with that. But right now I'm feeling the top water. Plus top water fishing is so fun. It's been, I don't know, almost a year maybe, but I was in this one bait only challenge that we had to pick one bait. Well, everybody that was in the challenge picked their favorite bait, and then they picked one bait out of everybody's choices. It ended up being chatterbait, which is not my favorite, but I said topwater frog. I was hoping that that would be the one that got picked. All right, let's make a quick move here, guys. I think we kind of wore this spot out. I'm gonna rotate the boat here. Hopefully we're not all stuck in the lily pads again. We're bumping on it. All right. Come on, big bass. Right there. Just blow up on it. The anticipation when you're topwater fishing is unparalleled in my opinion. And it's like you're never ready. You're never quite ready when the bass just blows up on the surface. Even though that's what you're specifically going for. When it happens, it's always like a little bit of a surprise. An awesome surprise. Man, my prescription on these glasses is not correct, guys. Fishing fam, doing well. Appreciate you coming in. Skunked in the ice. Justin. Welcome all. The Fish Head fam is back in action. I've been so busy lately, guys, doing like stuff at the house because we're putting the addition on the on-grid homestead. So I've been doing a ton of that, and work's been really busy, so a little bit less live streams, but we're not giving up. We're not quitting. We're not going anywhere. And I appreciate you guys for coming in. We got 12 people in here. I kind of expected that our viewership would be a little bit smaller today since we've had like 2 weeks from our last live stream, I think. I don't think I did one last weekend. Maybe I did. I'll have to check. But anyways, I figured like the YouTube algorithm would be like, we'll just ease them back in a little. I'm trying a couple different retrieves. The like every 2 seconds pop, the intermittent pop, and the constant popping retrieve, which is basically just pop, 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 pop while you're reeling. Sometimes that gets like more of a reaction bite. Bass like get mad at the bait or something, just come and slam it. All right, we're gonna keep moving down this weed line. I'm a little worried because last time we went over to this place I want to go to, the cell service wasn't really good. But maybe it'll be better this time. No Mercy in the house. Appreciate you joining us. Heck yeah. Yeah, the weather is actually really good for bass fishing today. It's like 52 degrees, 51, 52, and cloudy and overcast. So the little bit warmer air temp probably has the bass up. And being that it's cloudy, I know they don't like being out in the open water and top water feeding and all that when it's super hot and sunny. But I think we're in pretty prime conditions here. Single digits there. Ouch. We had one night last week, like Thursday night, I think, where it got down to like 27 degrees. That was pretty cool one. Doesn't really get too much colder than that around here. When it snowed, it was like 30 degrees. The crazy thing is it like snowed like this much and then like sleeted and rained and iced on top of that, and then it froze solid overnight. So you came out the next morning and you could walk on the surface, which was like this high above the ground. Jonathan, appreciate you coming in. I do not have live scope. I kind of wish I did for the crappie. I probably wouldn't even use it that much for bass. But for crappie, it's awesome for finding schools. It is sort of cheating, but I would do it. But it's pretty expensive, and we only get to crappie fish maybe like 5-6 times a year. Like seriously go out trolling for crappie and stuff. Today I'm just going to be like casting the edges out there in the big part of the lake. But really, without live scope, you just have to cast the edges and hope you run into a school. Come on, bass. Do it. There's got to be another bass ready to eat this bait. You know what would be awesome is if a big old crappie hit the topwater lure. I've never caught a crappie on a topwater frog. Hello, back to you. Ah, you lost your voice? I do want some walleye, Justin. The lake we're going to in a few weeks for vacation, it's Lake Blue Ridge up in North Georgia. It's supposed to have, besides bass and crappie, trout, like big rainbow trout, and walleye, which is incredible to me that there are trout and walleye in Georgia. It's only like a 6-hour drive, 5-hour drive, something like that, 5 hours and 15 minutes, and we can find them. And hopefully get Dylan and Lucas on their first trout. Jerry Boston, appreciate you coming in, Jerry. Welcome in. Doing some different types of fishing that we've been doing lately, or that we haven't been doing lately, which is bass and crappie. Last year we really got into surf fishing, so we were surf fishing like 75% of the times we were out. This year I'm going to try to make it a little more even. Maybe like 50-50, freshwater to saltwater. We'll see. Summertime gets really rough at the lake, like August, September, when it's just 100 degrees. It's just more enjoyable, and you actually have better chance of catching fish when you're at the beach. Oh man, you did 2 weeks in the hospital. Well, I hope you're okay. Hope all is well now. Yeah, Jerry, I am solo today. Dylan and Lucas are at the grandparents, and Zach is at home with Mama Fishhead. So I get to just relax and fish by myself on the boat without having to worry about anybody falling overboard except myself. But you did miss one really nice bass a little while ago, Jerry. Pretty much like my second or third cast once we went live. Second or third cast. Big old largemouth blew it up. Nice. Yeah, get the channel going. We'll all sub to you. Part of the Fishhead fam. We like to connect the entire YouTube universe. Man, I cannot read for some reason with these glasses on. Yeah. Glad you're still kicking. Come on, big bass. Just eat it. I'm doing the faster retrieve this time. We need Stephen Merchant to come in so I can get his address. I need him to send me his address. If you're in here, Stephen Merchant, just email it to me directly. Don't post it or anything. All right. I think we're going to make a quick move here to my favorite topwater frog spot. Got 21 awesome people in here now. Appreciate you guys for coming in. Saginaw River fishing yesterday. Nice. Nice, nice. Pretty much river fishing here is like catfish. You can get some bass, maybe some crappie. Oh, big blow up right in front of me, guys. But like if I'm going to like the Ocklackney River or something, not the saltwater part, the freshwater part, then I'm just fishing for catfish, really. I'm going to try to cast where that big blow up was. Come on, bass. Still be there and still be hungry. All right on it. Come on, hit it. Big blow up. Come on. Yes, listen to Justin McMullen. Everybody hit that like button. Do it. Do it. Hit the like button. All right. He did not come up and eat it. So what we're going to do is pull up the trolling motor and just move. It's like maybe a quarter of a mile. So we don't have to go far. It won't even go too fast. But we'll move. Yeah, there's lots of good fishing in Tennessee, man. We will be fishing in Tennessee eventually here. You know, you got spots that you definitely are going to. North Georgia was one. South Carolina was one. Tennessee is definitely one. And then to get back up north, like Connecticut or Maine, and go striper fishing, that's where the huge striper live. All right, see if I can bring you guys with me here. So let me put the GoPro somewhere safe. End up losing the GoPro after all that. All right. Whoa. So now we have all three legs of the tripod out. Kind of important when you're using a tripod. But where we were a minute ago, we only needed two of the legs out, and the third leg was just sitting on the live well. We'll just cruise slowly. No need to go too fast. Show you guys where we're going here. Eight feet of water. There's usually one or two good fish like over there along the shoreline, but we'll hit that after we try this spot. Where I want to go is that little cut in between the trees there, and then there's a trail, like a boat trail. We can just take that and just fish all along the sides of it in the weeds with the topwater frog. Ten and a half feet deep right here. The biggest bass that I've ever caught in this lake was back here where we're about to go. Oh, I'm getting excited about this spot. It just seems so perfect today. Hope there's no other boats back here. Sometimes you come around this corner and there's a boat like sitting right there in the middle. Looks like we might be the only one, and about 1 million birds. Wow, look at all those birds. That's a lot of birds. Wow, there's so many of them. They're like flying in a huge circle over there. And then there's tons of them on the water right here. About 100 more yards and we're gonna kill it. Maybe the birds are a good omen here, guys. That is a lot of birds. They're ducks, I think. They're a little too far away to tell what they are. But I think it's like hundreds of ducks. I don't know if you can see that, but look how many ducks there are just like in that one big, huge flock. They're like in every direction almost. Pretty cool. All right, let's try some bass fishing. Put this leg back up. Don't mind the jostling of the phone for a second, guys. All right, now we're back to where we were, I believe. Not quite. There we go. All right. It is an amazing place, Alan. I love this place. One of my favorite lakes. We do have some speed worms, I think. I can use my other rod that has the mono on it and just throw the speed worm across the pads. But right now, we got to do this topwater frog. I am actually in the middle of making a topwater frog review video with this frog. Just give it a couple little pops. Let it sit for a few seconds. Give it a few more pops. This is like my intermittent retrieve. Cool thing about this trail that cuts through the lake here, it's mainly weed free, but it's only like 10 feet wide. So on both sides of it, oh, that bird just came and checked out my frog. On both sides of it, there's like a nice thick weed line and then lily pads. So you got good structure, and feels like the fish don't really know you're here. But when you get off the trail like what we're doing right now, the trolling motor gets all caught up in that hydrilla stuff. Yeah, this is a great frog. I'm enjoying this frog. It has a popping face on it. It moves a lot of water and makes a lot of noise, which is pretty ideal for a topwater frog. Trying to get one of these blow-ups on camera for you guys. Basically 3 retrieves that I use with the topwater frog. One would be this, where I'm just popping it like every second and a half, pretty consistently, and just reeling it in real slow while I do it. The second would be that intermittent one I did on the last cast. And then the third is kind of the speed retrieve, where you're constantly reeling and popping like this. That one to me gets more reaction strikes, makes them mad or something, and they just come up and slam it. But those are pretty much my 3 retrieves with it. Yeah, no chatterbait today. Yep, 6 cents. Nice. Yeah, I don't have any rats actually. I should get 1 or 2 just to try them out. But when I'm at the store, the frogs like steal my attention, and I never think to get a rat or even a little duck. The little duck lures usually work. And almost all my frogs are hollow-bodied topwater frogs, so I can throw them in thick cover. I only have like 1 whopper plopper because most of the water that I fish, it's not really wide open water. And if you find wide open water, the fish just aren't there because they want to be under the cover. So the hollow-bodied frogs are way better for what I do. A hollow rat would be awesome. For Christmas, Lucas got me a topwater spider, like a big hollow-bodied spider, but I haven't tried it yet. I don't think I have it with me today. Oh, it just looked so good right there. How did they not eat it? We know there's big bass here though, because I have caught them with my own 2 hands. It's all new type of fishing. Heck yeah. So we're throwing a topwater frog with a bait caster with 30-pound braid just into the weeds and popping it along the surface, and the bass hang out under the weeds, and when they see something above them, they come up and just slam it at the surface. And it's pretty much my favorite type of fishing. I'm trying to get one on video for you guys to see it. The last one we caught, I was fishing off to the side, so you guys didn't get to see the blow up. Yeah, it is a nice spot, Jerry. This is where a while back, it's probably like a year ago now, Dylan and I were in a bass tournament, and it was like our last ditch effort. It was a 3-day tournament. We had caught like 4 bass in the first 2 days, and they were small. So we were like, well, we got no hope. And we ended up coming here with like a half an hour before a thunderstorm. We raced over to this spot right here where we are, caught a 5.5 and a 4.5 in like 10 minutes, and then had to run back to beat the thunderstorm. But that like bumped us up from like 27th to 7th or something. That was pretty sweet. We tried a different lake that we usually catch a lot of fish at and just had no luck. I mean, a couple dinks, that's it. Come on, bass. You gotta be loving this overcast conditions here. Ray's Outdoors in the house. Appreciate you coming in, Ray. Another fellow Ray. You don't really get tangled up. I mean, every once in a while it like catches a lily pad perfect and you gotta like pull it through it, but you don't. It floats over the top of them for the most part. See, I'm like all in the middle of the lily pads right here. Just goes right over them. But sometimes it does get stuck, but you got 30-pound braid, so just pull it hard enough, it comes off. Oh, was that a hit? Come back up. Come on, hit it. The trick with this kind of fishing, if you do catch one, you basically have to like just put all your pressure on it and pull it, because it'll get you all wrapped up in the bottom of the lily pads, and then you can't get it out, or the fish has enough time to get off because you're hung up in the weeds. So that's the tricky part when you catch a fish in a ton of weeds like this. Basically, best case scenario is you can keep it up at the top and like pull it over the weeds. Otherwise, you're just like dragging the boat over to where the fish is. Come on, bass. Can't catch one bass on the 3rd cast of the day and then not catch any more, can you? I don't want to jinx myself. Yeah, those little tiny duckweeds, and you drag the frog across the surface and it makes a line on the top. Yes, that is awesome. Definitely love that. Bubblegum trick worm. I may have one of those. We're probably going to do a speed worm, maybe a trick worm. I've got a jerk bait tied on right now. Probably going to try that first and then do a couple different things. I also have all the crappie rods in the boat too, so we can try to catch a crappie here in a little bit. Mama Fishhead mentioned she was in the mood for crappie, to eat some crappie, so got to catch a couple to bring home if we can find them. Have not had good luck this year with crappie at all. Actually, have not caught a crappie since it got cold. And cold is when we fish for them. So yes, not the best year for crappie. Haven't had my fried crappie sandwich since last year. If you catch it just right too, like 1 second in between pops, it walks the dog too. So you get that little bit of extra action on the frog, which I really like. See, we caught a lily pad, but all you got to do is just pull it off. But when that happens, it usually fills up with water, so the rest of your cast is ruined. But the weird thing about these frogs, the drain hole is on the top of the frog, so you got to turn it upside down and squeeze it to get the water out. Took me a minute to figure that out. Let's see, where would you guys be able to see it the best? Pretty much where I was casting. Come on, bass. You know you're hungry? The bass are being a little tight-lipped today. Yeah, the 30-pound braid is sturdy. Sturdy 30. There's another kind of fishing that we do a lot in this conditions, but you need 50-pound braid. Either a jig or a creature bait, and then a 1 ounce weight pegged like a foot above the bait, and you just flip that and it goes straight down in between all the weeds. But you need 50-pound because anytime you're catching a fish doing that, you're all stuck in the weeds. You'll bring up this 10-pound chunk of weeds with your fish, which sometimes makes you think your fish is giant. Like, oh, I got a monster, and then you move all the weeds apart, and it's like a little 1-pounder in there. I usually try to cast at the same spot twice. Because sometimes the fish will see it but not commit, but they're curious about it. And then the second cast, they're like, oh, I got to do it. I got to do it. And then they'll come up and hit it. But so far in this spot, they are not. So I think I'm going to move us down just a little bit down the trail. Oh, I didn't put the trolling motor in the water yet. Trolling motor in the water is better. Hopefully we don't catch too many weeds. Sometimes the trolling motor, because we only have a... Oh, it's getting stuck. We only have a 55-pound thrust trolling motor. So when you get in really thick weeds, it can get hung up. Like the weeds get all wrapped around the prop and the prop won't spin. I think we have some stuck on there at the moment, but we are moving, so I'm not going to worry about it yet. We stay like right in the middle of this little trail here. There's no weeds. Normally this is not the best time of the day for topwater fishing, but I just feel like with the super cloudy conditions and the temperature, it's kind of just like a balmy feeling day. It just feels like topwater fishing. Yeah, I could get some better reels, but you know, I got like 50 fishing rods for like all different kinds of fishing, surf rods, bait casters, spinning reels. I even got some trolling rods, but it's like, how much more money can I spend on fishing reels? Before I'm in trouble, at least. But these ones do the job good enough, and they're cheap. These Black Max reels, they used to be $39.99 at Walmart. Now they're like $59. But still, for 60 bucks, these things last for years, and they're good and reliable and consistent. I have like 4 or 5 of these Black Max reels. I just got this one on the Shimano Celis rod, but I think I have every one on a different kind of rod. Some of my rods are heavier, like when you're doing that method of fishing I was talking about with the 1 ounce weight, where you're punching it in the weeds. Those rods need to be stiffer. The one that one's on is like a broomstick, an extra stiff. Oh, come on, right there. Do it. There's like a little patch of grass sticking out of the water in between some lily pads. And I casted like right next to the grass. I'm going to cast there again. That just looks like too good of a spot. Got to be holding some fish right there. And cast right over the grass this time. Oh, that's perfect. All right, come on. Come on, fish. Oh, I just feel like this is the perfect spot. Come on, bass. You can do it. Jerry, that saltwater boat is still sitting on the side of the house. On the brand new refinished trailer. Trailer's all done. Boat is just sitting there as an empty shell. I still have to build out the inside of it. But with the house build and work being crazy lately and family and everything else, and still trying to fish sometimes, that boat is just being yard art at the moment. But it is on a brand new, not brand new, but totally refurbished trailer. Yeah, eventually. I mean, I've actually been like tempted. I talked to Mama Fishhead about this, of taking this boat right here and selling it, and then buying like an 18-foot lake and bay boat that's fiberglass. It'll have a little bit heavier of a hull, and I can take it out in the salt water or to the lake. instead of having two boats, just have one that does both. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. Not the right thing to be doing while you're in the midst of a house build. Don't want to just be buying a boat when you need money to build your house. Sorry, babe. We're going to have to wait another year to move into our house. Right now, we're right inside the inside edge of the first row of lily pads. The 5.5 pounder that I caught here last spring, same area, like right inside where the weed line is. You think so? Two boats? It's going to be that for at least a while, because I can't justify buying another boat right now. So we're going to have the boats we have. But eventually I might do the one boat for both. I purposely avoid deep sea fishing because I do not want to get hooked on deep sea fishing and have to have another boat that's big enough to go offshore. Imagine going like 27 miles out in this boat. A light aluminum bass boat be just bouncing around out there on the ocean. Oh no, not a backlash. That was brutal. Only the second backlash of the day. Yeah, it does take a lot out of the boat. I wouldn't want to put this boat in the salt water because the trailer, mainly. Like I could probably clean the boat good enough every time I used it to where the boat would be fine. But the trailer, it's a steel trailer. It's not even galvanized. It's a just like a powder coated tracker trailer that comes with these boats. And I don't think it would last very long. And I've seen like on tracker boat owners Facebook page and stuff like that, that the guys that do put them in salt water always say like the trailer is junk after like a year. And so far, using it only in freshwater, my trailer is perfect. Other than one of the hubs, for some reason, keeps leaking grease. It has these like really cheap garbage little rubber caps that go over the middle of the hub, and the grease leaks out of it, but just on one side. And I've already taken the old ones off and put new ones on and like put new grease in there and tried to fix it, but it's still doing it. Appreciate you coming in, Alan. Have a good dinner. See you again soon. Appreciate you. All right, fast retrieve. Lily pad. I'm happy to see that the cell service is not fading out too bad here. Come on, Bass. Where are you hiding? Oh, you know what? I forgot to put my microphone on, guys. I brought the microphone. Let me put that on so I can be facing this way and still be heard by the video. Microphone. That made no sense. Yes, sir. Zion the Lion in the house. Appreciate you joining us. If you can, hit that like button. Double tap the screen. Everybody do it. Double tap your screen. Do it. Do it. It's not changing. I'm going to grab my microphone, guys. Hold on 1 second. It says on the Humminbird that the water is 55.5 degrees. All right, Jerry. Appreciate you, as always. You have a great day if I don't see you again today. So I got one of these little things. It's 2 microphones and the receiver. That thing. So I have to plug this into the phone. The cool thing is you can plug the charger cable into the side of it and still keep charging the phone while it's working. Let me attach this somewhere here. Actually, I'll wait till I see the green button, the green light. All right. Disregard the jostling again here, guys. All right, we're plugged in. Yep. Now we just turn this little guy on. All right, I think it's working. Is it working, guys? Is it working? Oh yeah, the audio is good. All right, well, I'll just stick with it for now. Stick it on here somewhere. There we go. Right in front of my mouth. Sweet. Yeah, the reason that I thought of it was because the wind is starting to pick up just a little bit. And with the open mic, it starts to do the whole thing. So before we get to that point, I figured I'd put on the microphone. It has like the little foam thing over it, so the wind doesn't affect it. At least affect it as much. Plus, after a minute, it'll be in my head that I don't have to turn around to talk. And maybe I'll be able to get on a fish here. So you guys can see this amazing topwater bass blow up. And then we got to go try to catch some crappie. All right, come on, weeds, let us out. Let us out, weeds. We're going to make it. Sometimes I have to pull the trolling motor up out of the water and pull all the weeds off of it so that we can continue moving. But I'm just going to move like the distance of a cast, basically, and just keep working our way all the way down this trail. It gets narrower and narrower the further back you get. But this is like the very eastern edge of Lake Iamonia here. If you're ever out here, the very eastern edge is my favorite side of the lake. Come on, big bass. Let's do this. I am also in the mood for some crappie sandwiches. Oh, definitely caught a lily pad on that one. And some scum. This stuff. Like green slime. Heck yeah, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Listen to Jenny. Come on, bass. You know you're hungry. I would say the wind is probably blowing like 3 or 4 miles an hour, which is starting to move the boat a little bit. When we first started, an hour and 22 minutes ago, there was like no wind at all. It was completely calm. Right there. Come on. Blow up. Give them the teaser pop, like boom, and then just let it sit. Boom. Let it sit. That frog moves a really good amount of water. Like a regular hollow-bodied frog without the chugger face on it, the popper face, doesn't move nearly as much water. That's why I feel like it's got to be like almost irresistible to the bass. But somehow they're resisting it right now. That deep part of the lake that I was telling you about, it's not that far away from where we are. But everybody always goes there, like from the boat ramp straight to it. I watch everybody go in there, and I never catch anything in there. Like, it's either too overpressured or there's not that many fish, and everybody just feels like there should be because it's deep. Yes, everyone is welcome in. Appreciate all you guys for joining. It's always fun just hanging out on the boat, chatting, being live on YouTube, and making another video at the same time. But I think that video may be coming to a close here because the bass don't seem to want to hit the frog anymore. But I guess I can end that video on one big bass and then another delicious recipe. If you guys aren't familiar with our long form videos, check them out because we usually do something outside like fishing, camping, some kind of an adventure, hunting, rarely. And then we usually cook something too. We try to do it like a different recipe or at least a different seasoning on a recipe that we already did or something. Pretty much every video. Not all of them, but most. We have another video that's almost done. Dylan and I went squirrel hunting and caught no squirrels and got stuck in a huge thunderstorm out in the woods. And we got some of that thunderstorm on video. It was pretty crazy. But we still need to finish the video and get a squirrel and then do the catch and cook. Catch and cook squirrel. But we got an interesting first half of the video anyway. The hunt, and I mean, we got stuck. We just had to basically run back from where we were because the storm just picked up. Tons of wind. It was blowing like 30, 40 miles an hour. Hard rain. So we just ran. Water got all in the rifle. I had to clean it. Little kingfisher watching my frog. He almost swooped down for it. I think birds are a little smarter than fish. Although seagulls sometimes will grab your bait. Oh, there's another really nice patch of grass over here. I'm going to turn the phone so you guys can see this side. A really cool patch of grass. Actually, two of them. So we got a couple good spots to cast to right here. Come on, big bass. Some lures I can fish like hours with them without catching a fish. Like, oh, that was a fish. Oh, okay, guys. Stay on, buddy. Oh, I think he came off. Oh, he came off. Just sucked the soul right out of my body. That's the bad thing about this kind of fishing. Sometimes they get down in those weeds and you end up losing them. The pain, the heartbreak. All right. I think I had him long enough to where he's probably not going to come back and hit it again, but we'll try it. Yep, we got some weeds. I saw him come up and hit it, but he just took it straight down. I mean, right to the bottom. Whenever they do that, you got to be, I mean, you don't want to let them do that because once they get down to the bottom and that thick weeds, it's really tricky to get them out. But I have done it. Oh, okay. Adrenaline's going again. Bassmaster 20 in the house. Appreciate you coming in. Yeah, just missed one. I don't know if it was a big one or not. I won't lie and say, oh, I felt like it was huge. I don't really know. I saw it get hit and get taken down, and then all I felt really was the snag of the weeds. But we know there's more than one bass in here. I think some of the guys with the bigger bass boats don't come back here. It's not very deep. Come on, hit it. Nope. Really nice thing about this boat is pretty much need like a foot of water. Oh no. Some people are like, oh, I don't want to use a bait caster because they backlash and all this other stuff. It is kind of a pain to do it. It doesn't happen a lot. It's generally pretty easy to fix. But the good thing about bait casters is you cast so far with them. They're so easy to cast when you don't backlash. All right. I never catch a fish on a backlash cast either. But let's see. This one got like half distance. Maybe we'll get lucky. There's another patch of grass right over there. Usually when there's like two different kinds of weeds or two, like a tree sitting in lily pads, like some other kind of structure, the bass will be near it. Like where there's a structure change. The bass love that. So I always try to cast like to the edge, like if there's a chunk of grass, I'll cast like right on the edge of the chunk of grass, in between the grass and the lily pads or something. But nothing was there. Or my perception of this perfect topwater fishing day is not the same as the fish's. Come on, big bass. We know you're out there. We know you're hungry. Just got to cooperate. A couple times when I've caught them like way back like this, where I just casted, I ended up having to pull the boat with the fishing rod back to where the fish is, because they go down to the bottom, get stuck in there, and then you're just yanking the boat to get over to where the fish is, and then you got to like pull straight up on them to get them off the weeds. It's always like a really scary moment too. You're like, stay on, stay on, stay on, stay on, and then you get up to them and they're off. All right, right on the grass. Right on the grass. Come on, bass, be there. Luckily, with these glasses, I can see better long distance. So I can really clearly see the lure. And I'll easily be able to tell if it gets hit. Which without my glasses, at this distance, it's a little fuzzy. But the problem with these glasses is they make it hard for me to see close up. So I'm like having trouble reading the chat and stuff, which is why I keep pushing my glasses down and staring into your souls to see the chat. All right, let's make a little move here. Make a quick move about 50 yards down. Don't catch the lily pads. Hey, I think we did hit one, but we're off. Let's just take a cast right down the middle of the trail while we're heading down it. Might get a big old blow up right in the middle. I don't know if any of you guys were here last time we went crappie fishing at Lake Talquin, and I was trolling, and I didn't realize that my trolling motor had a constant drive feature. I can flip a switch and have it stay going forward. And I was like wearing myself out with the trolling motor, and then I realized it, and then it was so much easier. Still didn't catch any crappie, but there was no excuse at that point. For some reason I thought something fell off the boat, but it didn't. Nothing fell off. Catfish Cindy, welcome in. Appreciate you joining us. Skipjack Cindy. Did you change your name, Cindy? Or is it a different account? But we're bass fishing today at Lake Iamonia, which is one of my favorite bass fishing lakes. We've only got one bass though. One lone bass, but he was a good size and healthy. Nice fat one. Probably a female, actually. I didn't even really check, but pretty fat. This time of the year, the bass are just like loading up to get fat. Oh, okay. Long form only account. I didn't know you had another one. I got to check it out. Let's see. We'll go. I'll go. I'll remember it. I'll remember it. Come on, bass. Trying to get a big blow up on camera for everybody, but that limits you to casting right there. But I have been, and right now we're moving a little bit, so we can kind of cover more water. And I know there's big bass here. Down the edges of this thing. This little trail where the boats go through creates a perfect weed line. Come on up and hit it. That last one that I caught, I thought was going to be like a 5-pounder by the way it was fighting. But it wasn't. But it was still a good one. Not getting skunked is totally worth catching any kind of fish. Come on, bass, do it right there on the edge. Nothing. You got one video on there? I had a second channel just called Fish Heads, and I was going to do long form only. And I put one video on there, and I was like, man, I don't have time to like make 2 videos every week and edit 2 videos, or like try to re-edit one video 2 different ways so I can use it on both channels. The first time I put something on there, it was just the exact same video I had already put on this channel, and it got like copyright and everything. So I was like, oh man, it's my own channel. but they figured out that it was the same video on 2 different channels, and it got flagged on that channel because it was posted second on that one. So the other channel, called Fish Heads, is just sitting there idle. Don't know if I'll ever really have time to have a second channel, but whatever. Maybe after our house is built and things are settled down and all that good stuff. Oh yeah, nice. Travis does the editing. Edit and post. It's like, for me, it's about 3 times longer to edit a video than it is to shoot it. First, you got to get all the files onto the computer. Then you got to edit it all, and you got hours of fishing footage to go through and edit down into interesting parts. Or you like catch a fish and you're coughing at the moment or something, and you're like, oh, what can I do here? So then you're like, all right, let me mute the volume for a second while I'm coughing, and I'll do a voiceover, or I'll play like a crazy sound effect or something. So all that kind of stuff just ends up taking a really long time to do. But I am kind of like, I don't know, I wouldn't say a perfectionist, but like, I know if there's something I can do to make it a little bit better, I got to do it. You know what I mean? I can't just like half edit a video and be like, it's good enough. And still, I say that sometimes because like the video quality in a certain part wasn't good, or I used some piece of a live stream and it's like standard definition while it's in live stream, you know, that kind of stuff. So then I'm always like, all right, it's almost as good as I want it to be, and there's nothing really I can do to change it now, you know, that kind of stuff. Couple of nice little tufts of grass over here again. I'm trying to hit those right there where the grass and the lily pads touch each other. It's kind of where I try to cast. Come on, Bass. Where are you at? Where are you at? The bass saw this little leaf stuck on there and didn't want to eat it. All right, right here by this tuft of grass. Right over it. Okay. There should definitely be a bass right here. What happens right now, I can't see. Okay, now we're right on the edge of the grass tuft. Give it one pop. Let it sit. Pop. Come on, right now, hit it. They'll usually hit it if you stop. Nope, they're not doing it. Come on, bass, cooperate. Mixing up the retrieve a little. Still not working. I think we're going to have to go crappie fishing pretty soon, guys. The bass aren't really feeling it today, seems like. So what we'll do, take a couple more casts. One more cast. A couple more casts here. Bring up the trolling motor. and we'll head out to the main part of the lake, and I'll do some fishing for crappie out there. With crappie, it's kind of the opposite. I'm looking for the deeper open water and then kind of fishing along the edges of it. Come on, bass. All right, right down the middle of the trail. Right down the middle. There'll be a bass just like suspended right on the edge under the first set of pads. And when they see it, they'll come out of their hiding spot and come and nail it. Come on, bass. My handle on my reel is getting a little bit loose. Some people buy those like fatter handle pieces for their bait casters. I've never had them, so I don't know if they're better or not, but I see a lot of people doing that. They like take this little one off, or maybe it goes over this one, and then you have like a meatier handle to hold on to. Never really felt like I need that, but maybe I'll try it eventually. Come on, bass. If it happens right here, it's going to be awesome. You guys can see the big blow up. And I could actually maybe use it for the long form video. Because the GoPro's acting up again. So the GoPro is not in service at the moment. All right, one more cast here. Try down the other side of the trail. And then it's crappie time. Doc Lizards in the house. What's up to you? Oh, yeah. Glad you're loving the hat. I think the color that you got is probably like either my first or second favorite color option. We'll be doing a giveaway too soon. So if you guys aren't members yet, sign up and become a member. But we'll do some non-member giveaways and stuff. So you might be able to get a Fish Heads hat, Fish Head Videos hat, which has this logo on it right here. Pretty sweet. Took forever to get the materials. Fought this company over getting these patches made. Took like 2.5 months to get those. And then I ordered the hats like when they came. And for whatever reason, it took like 2 more weeks to get the hats. And then, of course, I was just kind of lazy. So it took me like a couple weeks to make the hats and get them out. Whoa. Backlash. But yeah, glad you like it. I mean, I may be biased, but I think it's a pretty sweet looking hat. Oh, something just hit the surface. And I got the backlash out. So maybe, just maybe, we cast where something just hit the surface. Hope it wasn't a bird. I just saw a bird hit the surface over there. All right, come on, bass. Last cast here, guys. And then we'll move. Oh, that was right where it was. Come up and hit it. Something big just surfaced behind us. Maybe they're getting more active right as I'm about to stop. Come on, big bass. Maybe it's in my head, but I feel like it's gotten quite a bit colder just over the last like half hour. Well, maybe not. Maybe it just got windier. Obviously, feels colder when it's windy. Come on, bass, right there. I don't know how they can resist this amazing 6 cents frog. It is a pretty sweet frog. I'll be giving it a good review in our next video. Actually, no, our next video is going to be the hunting one, the squirrel hunting video, and then probably this video. And we still have another Amelia Island adventure video that I need to edit. So right now we're basically like I forgot that was my last cast. It was karma, guys. I called last cast and forgot and then backlashed immediately. But yeah, we've got 3 videos shot and not edited yet. The editing is kind of time consuming. For a while, I was like trying to cheat a little and do more live streams. All right. There we go. That's the 6 cents frog we've been using. Got one really nice bass on it. We're going to make a move, guys. We're making a move. So what I'll do is move you guys up so you can ride with me out to the main part of the lake and experience the beautiful nature that we're about to see. Right now, all you're seeing is the far tree line, but we're about to drive through some really cool stuff here. But let me put my rod down, get the trolling motor up, all that good stuff. We can throw this a couple times too when we get out to the open water. Maybe we'll get a big old bass out in open water with that. Sometimes the big bass are like loners out in the open water. Not usually, but sometimes. All right, rods are secure. Pedestal seat. Trolling motor. There's a whole process here, guys. Got to get the weeds off the trolling motor. Let some of the water drain out of it. All right. Now we're ready. Oh. Battery cable is not quite that long. Okay. Charger pack here. So hopefully the phone won't die on me like we've had happen before. All right, we're looking pretty much straightforward. Let's fire up the big motor. Might actually lower the tripod down a little bit. I have to go quite as slow. Let me put the GoPro away so it doesn't like accidentally fly out of the boat. Don't want to have to buy another GoPro right now. I got this really cool little camera pouch. It fits 2 GoPros in it. Perfect. I'll show you guys. Just like a cheap camera pouch. But it's got a little foam thing in the middle, and it fits the 9 and the 11 perfectly. It keeps them nice and safe in there and takes up hardly any space. All right, GoPro is secured. We are ready to move. Oh no, let me lower the tripod a little here, guys, just so we don't have miles an hour. So disregard the jostling of the camera. It's not really happening. It's just an optical illusion. Okay. We can go even a bit lower. There. I feel pretty safe about that. We can raise the camera up a little. Hopefully that's good. And we're ready. There wasn't as much weeds on the trolling motor as I thought there would be, so that's good. We're not going to go super fast through this area, but once we get out, we'll open it up a little bit. It says it's 3.2 feet right here in the middle of this trail. 2.9 feet. It's definitely not very deep. It's pretty cool how the trees grow on these little like fingers that come out on both sides here. I've always thought that looks really awesome. Like a wall of woods that separates the parts of the lake. There's a really fishy looking spot over there, but I don't know if it's deep enough to get to. Definitely don't feel like getting stuck. Getting stuck would be counterproductive. But we'll try for some crappie here in a second. Once we get out of this part of the lake, I'll go over to another part of the lake where I know the crappie are usually schooling up around the edges of the pads. Getting a little deeper now, 4.5 feet. Show you guys. There's a lot of weeds, but if you stay right in the middle of this little trail, you can actually get a good reading on the depth. A little deep spot. Oh, you know what? I forgot to try a spot, guys. We've got to try this spot right here. Just a few casts. Right in here, there's another little trail, and I have caught fish going down this trail right here. Oh, wonder what that fish was that just broke the surface. Pretty much where those ducks are is where I've caught fish, straight ahead of us. So I'm just going to try a couple casts right in here. There's also these little like cypress trees that grow up out of the water, and you can cast around the stumps of them. Far enough in now. All right, like a good spot. I'm just going to set you guys right here and just take a couple casts. Might get lucky. Maybe we'll get lucky. Appreciate that, Jenny. Ooh, it is definitely a bit shallower, and there's a lot more weeds, but I think it's perfect for bass. Nice thing about these little trails is the weed line that grows right along the edges of them. Usually just cast like down the side of the trail and bring it in right over that weed line. And the bass like hang out in there and ambush stuff, I guess. Come on, one more bass. I would love one more bass before we start our crappie fishing adventure. I did get some cool crappie baits. Someone told me that orange was working really good. Orange is the color right now. So I got some orange crappie baits to try out. Let's try some of these. Perfect. Wow, someone's listening to music really loud on their boat. Come on, bass, right there. Be right there. Personally, I feel like the only time I really want music on the boat is like when I'm cruising. I wouldn't want to be listening to music while I was fishing, because I feel like the music would probably travel through the hull of the boat and disturb the fish and ruin your fishing. So I would only really ever turn the boat music on like while I was driving. This boat is porpoising a lot too. You guys can probably hear the music. He's going to another little trail that I know about over on that side of the lake. Where we first started this live stream was like, whoops, right in front of that other trail. Like I hadn't gone in the trail. I just stopped right at the beginning of it. And then we fished back over this way. Kind of the opposite of what that guy's gonna do. But that's fine by me because his music is super loud. We don't need to listen. Come on, bass. One more bass. One time I was at this lake and I fished that spot where we just were, didn't catch anything. Fished some other spots, that other trail across the lake over there. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to come to this spot where we are right now and just try last ditch effort. And after getting skunked like all day, finally caught one over here. Wasn't huge. He was like a 2-pounder, 2.5 maybe. But at that point, you're just like, please, any kind of fish, any size fish, I don't care. But at least we didn't get skunked today. I would say probably like a third of our live streams are getting skunked, which is not good. But when we do catch fish, good fish. So it's kind of a trade-off, I guess. Some days with none and some days with some good ones. Usually when we go saltwater fishing, we catch something, like even if it's just like catfish and we're not trying to catch any catfish, or like a stingray or something. But when you're bass fishing, there aren't a ton of other fish in here that want to eat the same thing. I mean, you might, well, I cast it over the tree. Don't get hung up. Pop off. Pop off. Ah, come on, man. I got hung up, guys. Oh, it came off. All right. Oh, these guys are coming right to where we are. Nope, they're not. They got one of those surface drive motors. They're just tearing right through the weeds. I stick to the trails with this boat. I could make it through the weeds here, but I figure it's not really going to give me any kind of big advantage. Where are those guys going? They might be. They might just be cruising around, messing around. Come on, bass, be there. It's crazy today. The conditions just seem so good for bass fishing. Yet they're not killing the topwater, which was what we were really going to try to do anyway. If I threw a jig or a creature bait or something and punched all these lily pads, we'd probably catch some. But I really just wanted to fish with my topwater frog. How about right in between those two sets of trees? Oh yeah, right there. Come on. All right. Guess they're not hitting here either. We can't say we didn't try. But that's okay. We still got a little more fishing to do. Just for a different kind of fish. A way more delicious kind of fish. I don't know about you guys, but I am not a huge fan of eating largemouth bass. I just don't like the way it tastes. Texture. Cleaning them. Like, I don't like anything about eating largemouth bass. Some people love them. I have not tried them fried, which is what I hear you got to do for them to be good. But I've tried them other ways, and they're terrible. So I'm never like, oh, yeah, we got to go out and catch some largemouth. Jerry, Jamaican Sure Fishing in the house. Appreciate you coming in. Welcome to some bass / crappie fishing, but we just finished up our bass fishing session and only got one decent sized largemouth bass. Definitely not a giant, but we did not get skunked for the bass. So thumbs up. So right now we're going to just move to the open part of the lake, and then we're going to find some deeper water, like 10, 15 feet, and fish the weed line with the crappie rods. See if we can't leave here with some dinner. We need crappie. Mercury's running good. I'm just going to turn us around and go back out the way we came in real quick. It just does seem like a perfect bass fishing day. But we did catch one, so we're happy. Yep, crappie time. That concludes the bass fishing portion of this video. And I can use that bass that we caught in my topwater frog review video of the 6 cents topwater frog. And I'm going to be giving it a good review. You guys, since you're here in the live stream with me, get to know in advance. Jerry, the boys are doing great. They're not out here today, though, because Dylan and Lucas went to the grandparents for the weekend just to go hang out. And Mama Fishhead and Zach are at the house. Might be just a bit cold for the baby out here on the lake. All right, we're back in the open. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll let this guy in a boat go by for a second. Then we'll open it up and we'll shoot across the lake to a different spot. Five and a half feet of water right here. definitely see a few boats out here now. I can see 3 of them right now where we are, which isn't bad. Like peak boating season when the weather is beautiful and everything, sometimes you come out here and you can't even get a spot at the boat ramp. When I pulled up, there was only two vehicles at the boat ramp. Someone's got like a center console bay boat right there straight in front of us, just a little to the right. Like 1 o'clock right now. Looks like a big old center console. That's a pretty big boat for this lake. All right, let's open her up here and we'll just go across the lake real quick. Bear with us for 1 minute here, guys. It won't take very long. Maybe 2 minutes. I think we just passed over a big school of fish, guys. I'm going to go back to where we just were a second ago. and try casting into this school of fish. I believe there is a school. Oh, there's a couple schools. We just crossed over another one. All right, I think we found a spot here, guys, right in the middle of the lake. I'm going to start casting. Oh, yeah, they're behind us right now, I think. See if we can catch one right off the back of the boat. I think that looks like a big school of fish. Let's go with, I'm not going to change baits just yet. Right now I've got one on that is a white and blue flake silverish color with a chartreuse and red head. We're going to try this real quick because I think there's fish right behind us. Oh, this rod does not want to cast. I forgot about that. I think what we're going to do maybe is just troll around this spot here. We'll just slow troll. Yeah, we're going to do that. Slow troll a little bit here, guys. Player Slayer. Yeah, it is a little messed up. A little bit, but I'm just going to make it work for now. I can bend it back with the pliers. This rod does not want to cast. So I'm either going to switch rods right now or slow troll. And I think slow trolling is the better option because we can cover more water that way. And I don't have to worry about this rod. All right. Whoa. One more cast with that old memory-ridden line. It's like Am I back? Can you guys hear me? Thumbs up or no? Yes. Sweet. All right, let's catch some fish. We're going to slow troll. And right now the wind is blowing the way we're going, which should... Oh, I see something. Fish are hitting the surface directly in front of us. We should just drift right through these schools of fish. Come on, crappie. Jig it a couple times. Move it a little. Wish there was a better angle I could get so you guys could see the rods. Let's see what we can do here. I know what we can do. We can put this leg out, keep that leg on the gunnel, and put this leg out. Yes. Beautiful. All right, I've got it on trolling speed 1, constant on. And I think I'm just gonna jig this one a little bit because I don't have as much line out. And it's trolling much closer to the back of the boat. I think we found a spot here. It's like 14 feet of water. And we definitely crossed over at least 2 big schools of fish. So I'm just going to kind of zigzag around here in the middle of the lake. Hopefully we cross back over those schools. And generally, if you can drag your jigs through a school, you might even hook up with multiple fish. But really, we got to focus on catching one before we do that. That's fully automatic weapon right there, guys. Which are illegal in this state. Come on, crappie. Still got 13 awesome people, 41 likes. Heck yeah. You guys haven't hit that like button yet. Do it. Do it. Hit the like button. We're revamping the store, Jenny. That store is kind of outdated anyway. But I am going to set up a new Fishhead Videos store with our new logo and everything. But if anybody does want to, you can go there. But we got a new one. No, there's no range around here. It's just people shooting like at their property or in the woods. It's Florida. People like to shoot. I shoot out on my property sometimes. Come on, fish. The people are partying over there. Got a little boat party going on. Maybe I'll jig the other one now for a minute. Never know if I should have the front rod be the short one or the back rod be the short one. Come on, fish. Reel of life. Welcome in. Appreciate you joining us. We already completed the bass fishing part of this video. Now we are trying to catch some crappie. I just saw another fish hit the surface right over here. We got to eventually get lucky here, guys. All we need is to drift over or slow troll over one of these schools. Then we should have dinner. Oh, you got some crappie? Nice. Yeah, crappie is my favorite, one of my favorite freshwater fish to eat. Around here anyway. There's the wrench for you. Connect with everybody. We're trying to unite the entire fishing community. We're like slow trolling in a really wide circle here, which I should have had be the other way from where we're going, so the lines aren't going directly behind the boat. But oh well. I'm just a little worried that our rods are going to cross over. Yes, hope for some crappie. Because Mama Fishhead said she wants fried crappie for dinner. Oh yeah, nice. We don't really have any bases around here for interesting stuff like that, but every once in a while, like over at Amelia Island, when we fish over there, the naval subs will come through the channel, and they have like the submarine, which you can see just the top part, but they'll have like 4 big escort ships like at all 4 corners of it, I guess, so nobody can attack it or drive their boats too close to it, maybe. I believe we are right over the spot. All right, I'm straightening us back out here, but I believe we're right over the spot where we saw those schools. Come on, fish. Scenic City Fishing, appreciate the subscription. We'll try to keep you entertained. Sometimes we catch fish. But yes, welcome to the Fishhead fam. We got a bunch of stuff going on right now. Just kind of like with life in general. Putting the addition on the on-grid homestead build while still making our regular fishing videos. I've actually got 3 videos right now waiting to be edited and finished so I can post them. So definitely some new content, new long form videos coming very soon. And we love all of our subscribers. If you want one of these hats, we're going to be doing a couple giveaways soon. One, I'm going to do members only. We do have membership option. So they'll get like way more chances to win a hat. But then I'll do some subscriber only giveaways. And you can also win a hat. Or other stuff, not just hats. But the hat's our newest thing that we have right now. So I'm still kind of pumped about it. But I'm also going to make some baits. Finally got our garage like usable again. And I'm going to start making more baits. And I'll be including the baits that I make in the giveaways. I really wish I had a monitor up here on the front so I could see our depth and if we were crossing over any fish. One of these days, I am going to buy like a 9-inch monitor and just put it up here at the front. You know what I can do? I've got the jerk bait on. We can troll and I can cast the jerk bait. Might get one of these big bass out here. Yeah, those will be fine. Just trolling like that. We can keep an eye on them. And I can be casting towards the weed line with the jerk bait. No reason not to, right? We got that. Sexy shad. It'd be pretty fun to catch a big old bass while crappie fishing. Starting to head towards the weeds. We want to just cast this like right on the weed line and kind of jerk it over the weed line. And as soon as you get out into the open water, it should hit it. I think I got some weeds. Nope. With this bait, I just kind of like to, oh, that's weeds. That's definitely weeds. But it's moving. It's coming. Okay. Big old clump of weeds. All right. Cy in the house. Appreciate you coming in, Cy. Yes, if we catch any crappie here, I am bringing them home to eat. Crappie are delicious. Oh, I think a giant carp just jumped out of the water right there. Did you guys see that? Was that a carp? We're going to have to go back and watch this. Man, there's a lot of weeds over here. I don't think this is the right lure for this spot. It was a carp? Nice. I always say I don't know where to fish for carp, but I've never tried this lake for carp. I just assumed they wouldn't be here. How crazy is that? So now we have a new place to try for carp, guys. I'm like pretty pumped about that. Whoa. I think a big old bass just jumped right where I casted. Still no activity on the crappie rods yet. Did see that giant carp just jump out. I mean, I wouldn't say he's giant, but he looked like a good 6-8 pound carp, which would be pretty epic to catch. There are also like chain pickerel in here, which could also eat the same baits you throw for bass. But not much else is going to eat a bass lure like this. I guess maybe a small bass might go after the crappie baits, but the crappie generally don't go after the bass baits. I want to see one of these crappie rods go over. Come on, go down. Please. Please. We're just like randomly casting now out into the middle of the open water. Straighten the boat back out a little here. We did another big circle kind of around the area where we saw that school of fish, but did not hook into any of them. And there's a lot of activity over there. Now we're kind of going in a circle the other way. So we'll make our way back over there. Whoop. Just jigging it a little. Usually when I'm casting for crappie, I put a lot of action on the baits. So just slow trolling where they're not like moving around, to me, seems a little sketchy. But a lot of people around here slow troll for crappie, and they always catch them. So you got to just trust that it works, even though there's no action on those baits other than the slight forward motion of it. The crappie, if it was crappie, that school of fish that we saw was like a third of the way down the water column, which is, I think, where our short line is. And the longer line is probably like halfway or 2/3 of the way deep. But we should be covering a couple different depths. I know we're going the right speed. You want to just be barely moving, which is what we're doing. But now we're just out here in the dead middle of the lake. Extros in the house. No rain. It's just been cloudy and overcast, which to me screamed a perfect day for bass fishing. Although we only caught one good bass. Can't really complain. But it was not, you know, one fish after the next like I thought it might be, just because of the conditions. Calm, not that cold, cloudy, overcast. Come on, fish. Take it. But we got these two rods out for crappie, slow trolling. And right now I'm just casting around with this jerk bait. There's definitely a lot of activity on the surface up ahead, where we'll be in like, I don't know, a few more minutes. I've been wanting to try out this idea that I have for catfish pack bait, but I never catch catfish in this lake either, so I never really focus on catfishing when I come here. But this recipe is going to be like finely chopped bluegill meat, pretty much like the whole fish, really. I might even like put it in the blender. But take a bluegill and a jug of chicken livers, puree that all together. Let me get us straightened out here. Puree all that together, and then make like a regular strawberry jello, breadcrumbs, fish attractant, sweet corn. Mix all that together into like a nice firm dough. And that would be a great pack bait for the channel catfish, I think. Trying to get us going like straight to the shore. Yes, listen to Paul Walkie. Hit that subscribe button, guys. Do it. Do it. Appreciate everybody for joining us, though. A little bit slow fishing, but having a good time. The weather is really enjoyable. It's sweatshirt weather, but your hands aren't cold kind of weather. Sometimes we come out when it's like 28 degrees and the wind is blowing. Your hands are numb and hurting. Kind of makes the fishing a little more difficult, slightly less enjoyable, really. I mean, it's still fishing, but not quite as nice when the weather's great than when it is. Guess there's no big loner bass just swimming around out in the open. Sometimes they do that. And we seem to have lost our school of crappie too. I don't have live scope on this boat, so we can't really just like cruise around till we find the school. We have to like see them on the side scan or the down scan. I'm just moving this thing around really erratically. It like shoots side to side, changes level, bunch of different stuff. You just kind of like pop it and let the line go slack. Moves all over the place. So a bass should see that and go nuts over it. I think the guy's dog jumped off his boat. We got a bunch of wake. The wake is coming in. All right, we're almost back over to the lily pads. So I'm going to cast this way. Hopefully get a big old bass. Oh, another big bust right over there. Might be just those carp jumping. That was crazy, that carp. Because that pack bait, minus the bluegill and the pack bait, minus the bluegill and the chicken livers, is good for carp. So if I can make like 2 batches of it, basically, one with chicken livers and bluegill and the other without, I can come out and go for catfish and carp at the same time. All right, we're getting too close to the edge. I'm going to turn us. Start the initial turn right now. I do still want to kind of get close to the weeds so I can cast to them for bass. Like right there. Okay. Straighten us out a bit. Got another clump of weeds. Oh, it came off. Nice. Come on, crappie. We're hungry. Yeah, there's a bunch of this hydrilla under the surface, just out from the lily pads. So pretty much every other cast or every cast, I'm going to catch some weeds. But it's like the few moments before you catch the weeds when you're going to get the bass. But we're staying out far enough to where it's still open water. That way our crappie lines don't get all caught up in the weeds. Oh, come on. It is good to know that there's carp in here. Did I just get a bite? Or was it an optical illusion? My eyes are playing tricks on me now, guys. Thinking I'm getting bites. It's just like when I look over at it and it's not biting. I did fully charge the trolling motor battery, so we've got plenty of power for trolling around. We really haven't used it that much yet. Bass fishing, I didn't use it that much because it's so calm out here. About to be on for 3 hours, guys. 3 hours with one fish. Luckily, it was a good fish. Come on, crappie. I feel like the people in that center console boat might be catching crappie. But they're doing the same thing I'm doing out in the open water. So if they're catching them, I might be able to catch them. So some of you guys that follow our homesteading stuff know that we have these 2 white ducks, and they've like really just made a mess of everything, and they don't lay eggs, and the chickens don't love them. So today my mother-in-law is coming to take them. She's going to take the ducks and keep them at her house so we can get some more chickens, because we need like 4 more hens to get enough eggs. We're like lucky to get 1 egg a day now. So we need some more hens so we can get enough eggs to eat. Like right now we're getting like enough for 1 breakfast a week, maybe. Turn us back over this way a little. Just thinking maybe, just maybe, bass might hit while we're cruising around for crappie. Appreciate that, Cindy. Appreciate you joining us. Oh, the center console boat's moving. I am seeing maybe some tiny sprinkles on the water. Yeah, I am. Yep, Cindy's working on her other channel, I guess. I really wanted a long form video only channel. I was like, shorts are ruining my channel and all this, but who knows? Here they go. I wonder if you had like just a shorts channel, just a long form channel, and just a live stream channel, if that would actually perform better, or does it not really even make a difference? Fishless Fisherman in the house. Appreciate you coming in, Fishless Fisherman. Heck yeah. Yeah, there's no way to figure it out. I've had live streams that get like 300 likes and other ones that get like 30. And the one with 30 got like more views than the one with 300. It's crazy. Just at that weed line distance where I might catch a bass. Yeah, it seems like that does happen. Maybe the wake is like jigging our baits at the bottom. I mean, it seems like it would. It is rocking pretty good, guys. I'm holding the tripod so it doesn't go overboard. Already lost one phone. Don't want to lose another one. True. Let me know what happens. Appreciate that, Fishless Fisherman. If you're not subscribed, hit that button. Hit that subscribe button. Got your wrench there. So now you can connect to everybody. Let's unite the entire worldwide fishing community. All right. I'm looking like the opposite way from where the trolling rods are, but I'm trying to keep an eye on them in the phone. I figure while moving, while you're moving, if a fish bites it, they're probably going to hook themselves. So really, you're just waiting for a takedown. Sweet. Yeah, I've seen you before, but, gotta say it. Plus, I've seen so many names on YouTube now that, like, a lot of names either have me confused as to who they are, or the names are really similar, and I, like, can't remember which channel is which person. Like, that kind of stuff happens to me all the time. Oh, I think another carp just jumped over there. We did see a carp jump a while ago. I actually caught it on the live stream. And I didn't think there was any carp here, so I've never tried. But now I know. We can come back to this bait, or this lake, with our carp bait, pack bait, and try it out, which I am extremely excited to do. Off the hook. What's up, Ted? We are slow trolling 2 crappie rods, and I'm just casting for bass. The weed line's over here, deeper water's over there. So I'm trying to stay like right on the line where I can cast to the weeds with the jerk bait and still be trolling for crappie. Only caught 1 nice bass earlier, like 3 hours ago. No crappie yet. Not the greatest day. But could be worse. Nice day to be out on the lake. There's got to be some bass over here by these weeds. Seems like my most consistent color for like square bills and jerk baits and swim baits and stuff is sexy shad. I catch a lot of fish on this color combo right here. But the bass really aren't cooperating, and the crappie really aren't cooperating. And we got to get home soon to see our ducks off. So I think I'll just take a couple more casts here and we'll end up winding it down. But it's been an awesome live stream. Fun times as always. We did get the 1 solid largemouth. So no skunk today, guys. Thankfully. I had like 5 skunks in a row or something on live streams. But not this time. Yeah, usually North Florida. We're going up to North Georgia in a few weeks. We're going to go to Lake Blue Ridge and fish for some different kinds of fish. The ducks are like a year old, Paul. About a year old and still not laying any eggs or doing anything, just making a big mess. But yeah, we live in North Florida. We fished mostly the Tallahassee area for freshwater and surrounding areas, obviously. And saltwater, we fish down in the Gulf a bunch. And also we go over to Amelia Island on the east coast of Florida and fish a bunch over there. And then we do other random trips like what we're doing soon to go up to Blue Ridge. I want to try to catch trout, walleye, bass, and crappie on the same trip. So that's the reasoning behind going to Lake Blue Ridge, because it is a deep, cold water southern lake that holds all of those fish. Supposedly some giant rainbows, walleye near the headwaters, because it is a dam lake. So near like the river end of the lake, I heard to go for walleye, and every lake in the south has bass and crappie. So hopefully we can do like a 4-fish slam. We're going to be there for 5 days. We got a house on the lake with a dock with kayaks and grills and a bunch of cool stuff. So I'm pretty pumped about the trip. And then also nearby, like within easy driving distance, are a bunch of creeks and rivers and streams for trout. So I really feel like we're giving ourselves a good chance of doing something cool. And obviously we'll be making a long form video. I've been tempted recently. I'll ask you guys your opinion on this. When you go on a vacation trip, like a travel adventure kind of trip, would you rather see the whole trip in one video, or would you rather have like every day of the trip be a different video? Because I was thinking about, you know, while we're there, what if I just film like 5 different videos? Or should I just have it be like, most all of our videos are in one. I think I have a couple 2-parters, but most of them are all just one. And I'll put like day 1 at the top of the screen, and then day 2, and then day 3. But I mean, as long as the fishing's good and we're doing interesting stuff, we could also do 1 video per day. You say the whole trip? That's how we generally do it. All right, guys, this is going to be my last cast for bass. I'm going this way with it. Oh, nice. You live up there. Sweet. I got this feeling we're going to fall in love with the area. And then I'm going to be like, yeah, we're coming back here every spring or something. I've heard a lot of good stuff about it. But I've researched Lake Blue Ridge. Did a bunch of research. Like, what's going to be the best place that's not super far to give ourselves this chance? Oh, man, I just noticed one of my eyelets is messed up. Something happened to my eyelet, guys. This one right here. We're getting a mixed bag of opinions here. Hopefully doing those circles hasn't like wrapped our trolling lines together. I don't think so. But no bass on this. 1 bass on the 6th Sense frog. Let me set this guy down. I think if I really carefully like put a, you know, a cushion around it and use a pair of pliers, I can probably bend it back out instead of having to do like a full-on repair. Getting close to the end of our drift here, guys. Come on, crappie. Oh, is that bites? Is something happening here? Oh. I think I actually just had a couple little taps, but the lines are crossed. Nope. Maybe it just hit some weeds or something. A little hump. I think when we get to the end of this drift, guys, we'll call it a day. Fish quit cooperating. The 3rd cast of the day, we caught a really nice largemouth and not another bite the entire time. But at least we didn't get skunked. All right, we're here, guys. Appreciate everybody for joining us. If you haven't hit that like button, do it. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, do it. No, but thank you guys all for coming. It's been fun. We'll be doing it again soon. So see you later.